Good evening, friends. This is Uncle E back with our final installment of The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. I've said it time and time again. This is the one book that helped me to go from being in debt to being out of debt. I highly recommend it for you to get. Over more than 2 million books have been sold. It's been around since 1926. We're in the last day, day 7 of the 7 cures of a lean purse. And so this is our finale. Hope you have enjoyed our ride together. So let's go ahead and recap. Babylon was one of the wealthiest nations in its time, one of the wealthiest nations ever on this planet, ever in history. And so there was a time where the king saw a big wealth gap between the common people and the wealthy people. And so he wanted to find a way to remedy that. So he called on the richest man in Babylon, Arcad, to come and speak to 100 choice men in the temple to help them to understand the principles of wealth. And so they could generate, or they could accumulate wealth, so there'd be more of a balance in the nation. And so Arcad came, he spoke to the 100 choice men. He gave them 7 lessons in 7 days. And so the first day, the first cure was to, what was the first cure? Wow. First cure was to start your purse to fattening. That meant to live off 90% of your income and to save 10%. And then over time, that 10% would increase. The second cure was to control your expenditures. And the lesson there was to live off of a budget. If it doesn't fit within your 90% as far as your living expenses, then you must acquit it. You can't buy it. Don't spend over and above the 90%. So live on a budget. Cut some things out if you have to. The third cure was to make your goal multiply. And that lesson we learned to become lenders and not borrowers, to learn how to invest, to make that 10% that was growing over time, to lend it out, and then it would, and then hopefully it would bring back a return with interest or with dividends or whatever the case you want to be. It's supposed to make our money work for us. The fourth cure was to guard your treasures from loss. In that lesson, we learned that we should seek wise counsel when it comes to lending our money out. We want to make sure that we talk to the right people for the right reasons. So if we need to invest our money, we need to talk to an investor. If we're looking to buy jewels, we need to talk to a jeweler. Don't talk to a butcher if you're looking to farm. Get wise counsel, get credible counsel for whatever it is that you're looking to do. The fifth cure was to make thy dwelling a profitable investment. In that lesson, we learned to own your own business, become an owner of an asset, owner of a property, in particular, own your own home. Sixth cure was to ensure a future income. In this lesson, we learned that you should have life insurance, that you should start storing away for your retirement so that when you retire, your money is making money for you, is bringing income, and then you can take care of your life after you work. And then that you would have income producing assets that would perpetuate to the next generation. So to ensure a future income. And then the seventh cure was to increase your ability to earn. And in that lesson, we said that a preceding accomplishment must be desire. That desires must be strong and definite. And so we learned here that it was 3 principles that we talked about. And it said that you could increase this by having more interest in your work, more concentration upon your task, and more persistence in your effort. Those are the 3 lessons: more interest in your work, more concentration upon your task, and more persistence in your effort. And so give it your all, and then people will see that you're giving it your all, and you become more valuable to society, and therefore the earnings would follow your value that you bring to the marketplace. And so we pick up right where we left off. Where he was saying that with reasonable promptness, my skill increase was rewarded, nor was it necessary for me to go 6 times to my master to request recognition. So the 7th cure for a lean purse, the 7th cure for a wallet on E, the 7th cure for a struggling bank account. Richest Man in Babylon, the finale. The more of wisdom we know, the more we may earn. That man who seeks to learn more of his craft shall be richly rewarded. If he is an artisan, he may seek to learn the methods and the tools of those most skillful in the same line. If he laboreth at the law or at healing, he may consult and exchange knowledge with others of his calling. If he be a merchant, he may continually seek better goods that can be purchased at lower prices. Always do the affairs of man change and improve, because keen-minded men seek greater skill that they may better serve those whose patronage they depend. Therefore, I urge all men to be in the front rank of progress and not to stand still lest they be left behind. Many things come to make a man's life rich with gainful experiences. Such things as the following a man must do if he respects himself. He must pay his debts with all the promptness within his power, not purchasing that for which he is unable to pay. He must take care of his family, that they may think and speak well of him. He must make a will of record that, in case the gods call him, proper and honorable division of his property be accomplished. He must have compassion upon those who are injured and smitten by misfortune, and aid them with reasonable limits. He must do deeds of thoughtfulness to those dear to him. Thus, the seventh and last remedy for a lean purse is to cultivate thy own powers, to study and become wiser, to become more skillful, so that as to respect thyself. Thereby shalt you acquire confidence in yourself to achieve thy carefully considered desires. These then are the 7 cures for a lean purse, which, out of the experience of a long and successful life, I do urge all men who desire wealth. There is more gold in Babylon, my students, than you can dream of. There is an abundance for all. Go forth and practice these truths, that you may prosper and grow wealthy, and as is your right. Go thou forth and teach these truths to every honorable subject, and his majesty may also share liberally in the ample wealth of your beloved city. So I want to go back to what he said, that every man, and that was the end of it, but what every man, he said, such as things as following a man must do if he respects himself. He must pay his debts with all promptness within his power, not purchasing that for which he is unable to pay. He must take care of his family, that they may think and speak well of him. He must make a will of record that, in case the gods call him, proper and honorable division of his property be accomplished. He must have compassion upon those who are injured and smitten by misfortune, and aid them within reasonable limits. He must do deeds of thoughtfulness to those dear to him. The finale to The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. 7 cures for a lean purse. 7 cures for a wallet on E. 7 cures for a struggling bank account. And I want to leave you with this, guys. Uncle E saying, you know when I went and got this book? This book right here. You know when I went and got it? As soon as I heard about it. And for many of us, we're going to read this, we're going to hear this, we're going to say, that was a great story, thank you for reading it to me. But for many of us, we're still not going to go get the book. I'm sharing with you what helped me. I'm sharing with you what helped me to go from being a zero in my finances to being a hero in my finances. This book right here will change your thinking, which will ultimately change your results as it relates to your bank account. So don't be like most people. Don't be like most people and pass up on this treasure. Be like the few. Be like the 5%. Be like the 3% who heard about this book and went and got it immediately. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope that this small story has made a huge impact in your life. And I hope that you will get the book and read the rest of what this awesome inspirational book about wealth has done for me, and I hope that it can do for you. Well, until we meet again, guys, maybe it'll be a new book, maybe it'll be a new chapter. I want to say this to you, that when I come across you in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from now, or maybe in this lifetime or the next, I don't want to hear your testimony. I don't want your testimony to be that I wish that I had. I want your testimony to be, I'm glad that I did. Have a good one.